If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Are Hollywood movies in big trouble? With The Fall Guy landing below expectations, the film If not living up to the hype, and Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and the Garfield movie recording some of the worst Memorial Weekend openings, Hollywood's dreams of continuing to recover from the box office losses associated with the COVID-19 pandemic and the advent of streaming haven't materialized, with results lagging so far behind in May 2023, when Guardians of the Galaxy was doing so well in theaters. The industry now seriously needs to adjust expectations, perhaps begins to accept what was once considered box office mediocrity is the new normal. But is it too soon yet to panic? Thus far, the numbers look pretty grim. The first 4 weekends in May, box office totals plummeted roughly 35% versus last year, according to the site Box Office Mojo, with the average for number one new film down almost 50%. For Memorial Day weekend, the top two titles, Furiosa and Garfield, combined only for little more than half of what Disney's live-action film The Little Mermaid brought in 2023, making it the weakest official kickoff to summer in more than 30 years in the United States. However, one of the biggest promises for the blockbuster summer has to be Deadpool and Wolverine, starring of course Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. This film has so far produced a record advance ticket sales, and the animated film Inside Out 2 likely is also to be a major draw for families. The Hollywood Reporter has noted that movies opening now to $100 million weekends will become more and more unlikely, and seems to be relegated to before COVID and streaming networks. Here are some reasons why cinema releases aren't doing as well. Habits have now changed. It takes a lot more now to get people to go to the theatre to watch a movie. And consumers who aren't dying to see something know thanks to shrinking theatrical windows, the film will be more conveniently available at home soon enough. It's not that people don't want to watch movies, they just want to watch it on their terms, generally at home, in their own comforts, without having to pay huge prices to watch it at a cinema or maybe be annoyed by other patrons, texting and talking on their phones or to each other. Without a doubt, the strikes may have had a huge effect as well. Studios have sought to spread out releases to ensure a steady flow of the new product, but the 6-month work stoppage slowed the pipeline, resulting in delayed premieres, giving people less reason to venture out to the cinema. The next big blockbusters to come out this summer will be Bad Boys: Ride or Die, Quiet Place Day 1 and Twisters, all of which seem more likely for people to say, I'll wait for that to come onto streaming. The biggest star that can boast is Will Smith, and he's currently best known for slapping Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars. A Quiet Place Day 1 is the third installment in the horror franchise, and the first not to be directed by John Krasinski. And the tornado disaster movie Twisters is related in some ill-defined way to Twister, which was a big deal back in 1996, but not a film that is cried up for a follow-up. Streaming services have also attracted both big filmmakers and viewers who used to stick to the big screen. Series featuring the characters from Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe have all provided the kind of big entertainment thrills that once was only exclusive to the cinema. Also, most of Hollywood's biggest blockbuster franchises have run their courses. There hasn't been a new Star Wars film in a while, and the series in many ways has run its course. The DC Universe is on pause, while new creative director James Gunn reworks the whole franchise. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has begun to flop, particularly after the Marvels movie released last November, and it almost seemed like an end of an era for the MCU. J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts have been paused indefinitely, according to the director of those films, David Yates. And of course, we are still waiting to hear who the new James Bond will be, even though No Time to Die came out in 2021. Unfortunately, what we've been left with this season has been a new Godzilla King Kong movie and another Planet of the Apes. But these films lack major stars, and relying on a reboot of an 80s TV show, The Fall Guy for example, or using a secondary character, Furiosa, in the Mad Max saga, don't seem to be drawing in the audiences. The biggest film thus far has been Dune Part 2, grossing $711 million, well short of the $1 billion mark, with even a new Ghostbusters movie only grossing $200 million, well short of expectations. Studios have been fixated on the same intellectual properties for the past 20 years, and it seems to have now run out of steam. Look, if 2023 proved anything, is that people wanted something new and different. The worldwide success of Barbie and Oppenheimer last summer, which of course coined the phrase Barbenheimer, was a phenomena, but maybe it also was a blip, rather than a long-term solution to the industry's problems. At the end of the day, these were two risk-taking projects, very unique and different. It was also given an extraordinary publicity boost from the meme that prompted customers to go and see both of them, one after the other, while wearing costumes and buying souvenir merchandise. The phenomena was fun while it lasted, but it took a set of circumstances that are in many ways unrepeatable to fill cinemas. It really cannot be taken as a positive sign, as it was rather a trend than due to the movies really grabbing people. Executives at Marvel and DC will be hoping that the new Captain America Brave New World and Superman Legacy can uplift the superhero fatigue when they are released next year. But there's no indication that anyone in Hollywood knows how to put these films into cinemas on a regular basis anymore. The climate of filmmaking has changed. Ryan Gosling, one of the most commercially viable actors now in Hollywood, especially off the hit of Barbie, couldn't really bring in audiences for The Fall Guy, nor could Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa. Look, blockbuster movies take a long time to be produced, requiring decisions years before they even hit screens. Now, the old saying, you have to spend money to make money, always applies. If movies keep earning less, there's going to be a need to make them more inexpensively. There, of course, is a trade-off. Audiences have come to expect big, over-the-top opulence from their blockbuster movies. But that, of course, costs a lot of money. And of course, if people would rather watch it on streaming at home than going to the cinema and paying big bucks, well, these movies are going to become fewer and far between. At the end of the day, Hollywood is just another business. It works on profit and loss. And at the moment, with these kind of returns, the films are definitely tending towards a negative balance. Hollywood needs to rethink, reinvest, come up with more creative and interesting solutions, and lure people back to the cinema. Or understand that maybe the days of cinemas are in the past, and the way we will consume movies now is going to be exclusively at home.